We're now moving on from the double box stitch to the tornado and some other cool lanyard stitches. So if you haven't yet learned the double box or seen the first part of this tutorial, you should probably go back and watch the video just to make sure you know how to start. You're going to do it kind of like how you did the barrel stitch. So if you remember with the barrel, everything was crossed over, like not how it, this is where it goes to go back where it came from, over, over. With the tornado, you're going on a diagonal. So you're crossing those stitches, but the same rule is true. Except instead of grabbing the stitch most towards the end to trap in that loose spot, you do the second one down. It seems like they're going to cross, but they're not. So you just trap in the end. Then the second stitch of the same color, over, under. Then you're going to grab the next one that makes an over, under, and then the last string will trap in the end. And you've made your first barrel stitch. And it continues the same way. Crossing over so it feels like you're going sideways. Trap in the loop at the end. Over, under. Over, under. Over, under. The more strings you have, the more important it is to remember that always go over, under, over, under, over, under, and trap in the loops. And I can't say that enough, because as you get more experienced and want to do more complex things, that's the only guide that you're going to have when you come up with your own stitches. So, another stitch. These make really nice zipper pulls for just about anything, or keychains. So I'm going to show you in a while my favorite keychain and how to do that. Because you can see now you're turning around. I think you probably get the point of the tornado. Now, if you want to change directions, you will have to do a box stitch, a double box stitch, these colors are really nice too. I didn't get this paracord on it in a store. I got it on Etsy from someone who had a lot of really cool colors. A lot of the craft stores carry this stuff now, but they don't have colors that are mixed. Or this black is actually 3M reflective material, so it'll like glow in the dark, kind of like if you shine a light on it, it reflects. So you go back to the barrel, and this time you'll notice that you're crossing over. you're going to feel like you're crossing over, but it's going to be in the other direction this time because you're going to be spinning back to where you came from. So your first stitch in the other swirl direction. I don't think I have any examples of this to look at, but you'll see very shortly. And maybe by the second stitch you can see the wrapping of the spiral in the other direction. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see that it's turned around. And you can make any combination of that, zigzags. You can turn around one way and then go back the other. And that's the tornado and the double box. So this is my favorite keychain, and I've actually had it on my main keys for about 12 years, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a little bit different than the double box or the tornado because there are 4 boxes put together, and when it turns, it looks really nice, and it's kind of more substantial. So with the paracord, I've gone back to where we were when we were just starting the double box stitch, and so there are 3 colors here. You'll see 2 loops of horizontal strings, and just put this through that loop. And these get a lot harder as you put more strings on. It's not going to be easy, this one, but it's really very cool. So you start out going, that's over, so you're going to cover that up, go over the next one and under the next. And then you'll see the loops. You might need to pull out some more loop on the side. And this string is just going to go through the loops. And you can see now, over, under is the only thing you need to know to make one of these any size you want, because you've woven a square out of the paracord. Now you just have to figure out how to tighten it evenly. And, oops, that's not the easiest thing. And you can just keep going up. I'll show you a few stitches, but since this is so advanced, I'll leave most of it up to you to decide if you want to continue to do something like this. If you are interested in seeing more than like 2 stitches, just write in the comments and I'll try and make a more comprehensive video so that you can do it if you can't figure it out. I would definitely do that if there were interest. But it's also really similar to double box. So there's not much more that you need to know. Then weave all the strings under, over, trap all the open stuff into it. Okay, so last string, and it goes through the loops. And then you can just pull it tight. This one in paracord might be a little bit big for some sort of keychain, but there you go. That's how you do a stitch of this really thick box. And I'll show you how to make it turn. Then I'll show you the really cool thing I got at the craft store. That's the best part of this. So you're crossing all the stitches again. You're making sure all the loops are tucked in with the first string, over, under. Second string. And then again, always alternate sides. And now you're just closing off with this last string through the loops. Trapping in all of the loose strings. And that's how it turns. And you just keep going. And then changing direction is the same principle as the tornado. You just do one of the straight stitches, one of the box stitches, and it will stop turning. Then when you start turning again, it'll go in the other direction. So you can see that. But what I really want to show you is this. I don't know how you can see it, but lanyards are one of those crafts that people are always like, what do you use them for? But this is 1/8 inch strip of deerskin leather and an 1/8 inch wide gold curb chain. It's obviously not real gold, but I guess you could use gold. And it looks really, really nice. And it would make a great decoration for either a jacket, a zipper pull, or you could put it on a purse and it would add a lot of value to the purse because it's kind of a nice little leather tassel decoration. And this you do the same way, and I think I'm almost getting ready to finish. You do the same way as the tornado stitch. So let's see, you cross them over, and it's a little bit trickier because chains don't stand up, but I'll do one stitch for you guys. And I'll put in some high-res pictures so you can see how cool it looks. Possibly even wherever it ends up. So you can see that's the box stitch. And then the final one, this last one, the chain's definitely advanced, you could say, because it flops over. It doesn't stand up like the plastic. So if you are doing this with your kids, and you want to follow along or they need some help, this is kind of a fun way to make a lanyard that you can actually use or give as a gift to someone without feeling like, you know, it looks cheap or too cheap. So that's the end of the video. I think this is the last lanyard video unless someone writes in and asks for something specific. There aren't many more patterns that I can show you that aren't variations on what you've already seen. So thank you, and please leave a comment if you have anything to say. Bye.